Hey guys. Okay, so really recently in America, we have had so many tragic suicides over LGBT bullying. And that, my friends, is frankly unacceptable. Because how would you feel if you were in their shoes? If you were the bullyee, and someone was picking on you because of your sexual orientation. Or better yet, here's another example. What if you were an early Christian that was living in a Roman dominated society and the Romans were persecuting you and you could only communicate with the Christians by way of the fish, like drawing a fish in the ground in front of someone's house, or using the fish symbol to communicate with other Christians as like a safe way to let people know you were a Christian? How would you feel? It may have gotten to the point of where you would kill yourself, and no matter what you kill yourself over, it is tragic, and there are ways to prevent it to where it doesn't have to happen. As most of you know, I'm a pagan YouTuber. Yeah. Okay. But I'm also an LGBT YouTuber, as I am a member of the channel RainbowInTheVeins. Me personally, there were a year's time span before I ever consciously came out to myself, other than just the simple, oh, childlike things. It all started, I know this is going to sound really strange, but it all started about when I was 5. I didn't have any, like, sexual urges at 5. Don't worry, I'm not like a sex maniac. But I did acknowledge that I was different. I acknowledged it. And I remember thinking, I'm different. And then I remember looking at one of my other friends who recently came out and not recently, but came out and told me that he's bi. I looked at him and said, he's different. And then I saw something shiny, like on this side of me, like I was running this way, and something happened this way, and I went, ooh, shiny! And then I ran towards where he was at, because I wanted to go play, because it was almost time for him to leave. So we did that. About 5 years after that, I was going to a Lutheran school, because my mom took me out of public school because of various reasons, and put me in private school. Like, she's not really Lutheran or anything, she just put me in Lutheran school because I wanted to go there. And I remember we were sitting in, I think it was religion or some other class. Yeah, it was religion because we were talking about God. And my teacher at the time said that whenever you go to heaven, nothing is going to be wrong. And at this point, I had a huge crush on this other girl in my class. Like, I had this huge crush on her. Like, I would follow her around like a lost puppy dog. And that's probably how the rumors got started that I was a lesbian. Come to think of it. Oh, well, that's okay. But yeah, I remember thinking that whenever I get to heaven, I can tell her that I have a crush on her and it won't be wrong. And yeah, I just kind of brushed it back in my mind. And then whenever I was 12, whenever I realized I liked girls, like I wasn't straight, I had a dream, and in the dream I was showing my affection towards one of my friends who is straight, and I used to have a huge crush on her too, but that's done and gone. If any boy tries to mess with her emotions and break her heart anymore, if they break her heart any times, they're gonna deal with me, and it's not gonna be pretty. And I went into denial about that, and I remember just sitting there the next day in confirmation class, just replaying this image in my head, and that's when I went into denial. Denial is not a fun place to go into. Those were mentally the worst 4 years of my life. I repressed every thought of me being different in any sort of way, including me being pagan. I knew I was like a witch or something from when I was like 3, but I'll go into that in a different story, in a different video. But it was really bad. I suppressed every thought of me not being like everybody else. Like, I had to be normal. I had to fit in. I had to do all of this. But that was just messing me up more than me being openly gay, openly lesbian, or openly homosexual. I'll say that. Openly homosexual. And then, when I was about 16, one of my other close friends came out and told everyone that she liked girls. She didn't say she was bi, didn't say she was gay, she just says she likes girls. And she told the one and only boyfriend I've ever had, she told him, and he came out and told me that he liked boys. Like, he's like, I'm like her, I like boys. And I remember thinking for 3 weeks before that I knew I liked girls, I knew I was bi, I knew this. Oh, I knew I was bi. Quote for me anyway. I knew that, but I didn't want to tell anyone because I didn't know how he would react. Because he kind of said he had an aversion to it, so I was like, okay, I have to keep this in or he won't like me. But then when he came out and told me that he liked boys, my exact response to myself was, I did that. I was like, fuck it. And that's exactly what I did. I was like, fuck it. And because I was tired, and I was tired of denying it to myself, and if he could be open with me enough to tell me he liked boys, then that he was bi, that, okay. He's like, that's okay, so am I. And he goes, what? Like, what are you talking about? I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I like girls. I'm bi too. He goes, oh, well, that's a relief. So, yeah, that happen. And then when I was 17, I had my first girlfriend. And she was beautiful. She was beautiful. I'm saying was because she recently died. Didn't die because of suicide, because of LGBT bullying. We don't really know why she died, but she died. And when I was with her is when my boyfriend broke up, which I freaked out over, but that's okay. I've gotten over that now. But I recently decided that I'm not bi. That recently after that I decided I wasn't bi, I was gay. So yeah. And a few months after me and my girlfriend broke up, my mom Google searched my name and discovered that I was saying I was a lesbian, and that I am a lesbian. So that's how I came out to my mom. She Google searched my name and found it. Yeah. And around October of that very year, I met the girl who I would soon call my girlfriend, and we're still together to this after a little rough time, we're together now, and that's all that matters. So yeah. You don't need, and right now my life I am happy right now. Granted, I'm probably a little more open about my sexuality than my mother wants me to, because she wants me to fit in and she doesn't want me to get persecuted or bullied to death for my sexual orientation. But I've already done that to myself. Despite the rumor going around at the Lutheran school I went to that I was a lesbian, which I denied every single time anyone asked me. And now I'm accepting the fact that it's true. For once, the rumors are true, and that's okay. Because and with the whole my mom thing, like I said, I've already done it to myself. I've bullied myself almost to death. So, there's nothing. No, there is some things that people can say that won't get me to kill myself. It won't. It won't get me to kill myself. Because like I said, I've almost done that to myself. But it will get me to question your integrity and your moral ethics as even if you say you are Christian, I will question them. Or if you're Muslim or whatever. If I know anything about your religion and it says it's a good religion, it loves everybody, and you basically say that you think they should go die to my face, which I have had said to me before. Granted, this kid is an idiot. He's one of those backwood rednecks. Like, no offense to people who are country. I'm sorry. I'm very hillbilly myself personally, but don't say you're a loving religion and then tell people to go die. Don't do that. One of my other friends I think she's bi, but I'm not sure. She goes, you do know if you have said that to me, you would have been on the street, like, bleeding. She's like, you're just lucky Amber has more restraint than I do. And I didn't go back to my table with my friends until he left because I did not want to be there with him because that pissed me off. So yeah, don't tell someone to go die whenever you claim to be a loving religion. But anyway. But like I said, for all you LGBT members out there, it will get better. It will. I'm going to put my email address down in the bottom. My email address for my MSN, for my MSN address, and my you can talk to me address. You can even PM me or leave me a comment or add me as a friend. But I will be there anytime you need to talk. Because no one should have to kill themselves over someone else's stupidity. You don't need to kill yourself over for someone else's stupidity. It's not that you're stupid or you're any less of a person. It's that they are either clearly not happy with themselves, homophobic and afraid to come out, which is possible, or they're just plain old mean. So, if you ever need to talk, I'm here. Anyone in Rainbow in the Veins is here. Even some of the people I'm subscribed to that are pagans are here. And I will probably... No, I won't do that. But I will leave a link to Rainbow in the Veins so you guys can, if you guys aren't already subscribed to them and you want to, you can subscribe to them. But anyway. So yeah. I hope you guys are having a fabulous day, and I hope you're all looking forward to, either Samhain or Halloween or whatever you celebrate around this time of year. Okay, well, I'll talk to you guys later. Blessed be, and I love you all, gay, straight, or otherwise. Bye.